what you owe, cause you won't live that down. I call her sloppy Joe, no way that she get down. Let off another round, I smoke another pound. Second round.
Alright, let's get this started. I got 4 different enemy types for you. I got the regular grunt enemies, I got the runners, I got mimics in the game now, and I got this little face hugger things. I'm also working on a 5th enemy type called the Watcher, right? And we'll get into that later, but basically, the enemies, they didn't work at all. And so, the way I actually implemented this was by adding a new state tree thing. I figured, how can I make this the hardest possible way to code an enemy? And I found it, ladies and gentlemen. State trees. Still not 100% sure on how they work, but from my understanding, basically it gets a state like this parole state, and then it will transfer on a given condition or variable, and then it will transfer to a next state like this chasing state or this running state. With that, I actually added emotions to enemies too, just to make them feel more dynamic and diverse and actually interactable. So now we have enemies with different and varied emotions. If you shoot the runner enough, it will get scared and run away from you. I also made it so now you can die, the enemies that attack you, they hit you, they do all sorts of things. On top of that, what I got going on is the runners. Like I said, it will get scared once you get down to about like 25% health. Then it will run away from you, and it will drop an item if you kill it, like a key or a coin. Next we got the mimic. The mimic, whenever you walk up to a chest, it's a mimic. I mean, that's kind of what a mimic is. It does mimic things now. And then we got the face huggers. The face huggers were a little interesting because it still needs a little bit of work. I still got to add a jumping state, but right now it will go from trying to just attack and hit you to hug on your face and just stay there. I gotta make it so instead of shooting it off, you can just spam a button and rip it off. You can't really see it here, but if you're moving, it stays on you and it's slowly taking down health, as opposed to other enemies which hit kill. Then I got the last enemy that I'm working on is the Watcher. Now the Watcher is still work in progress, but the Watcher is meant to be this eye that is on the walls of the dungeon, and if you look at him like an enemy in a way, you just kind of get sucked and pulled towards it, kind of like a UFO beam. It pulls you up towards it. The problem with that is I tried searching for a launcher to push the enemy towards itself. With that, found out how to do knockback, and I really like this as opposed to just spamming you with attacks, because it makes it feel like you can actually feel the attack now, and it's a lot better, I gotta say. Something I gotta work on is biomes in the future, and I think I'm gonna touch on this when I go into the next video. I gotta make it so certain enemies can only spawn in certain biomes, because obviously I don't want every single enemy to have a chance to spawn wherever in the game, because then it just doesn't feel natural in a way. I'm probably gonna regret using state trees in the future, as like I said, I probably understand like maybe 70% of what I'm doing, because state trees are confusing. What I really should have done was probably behavior trees, because then it kind of just opens up what I can and can't do a little more. Oh yeah, like I said, all temporary assets for sure. Next video I'm working on art. That is the thing. There's a whole lot of story and narrative and just kind of artistic design, and I've been putting it off a lot simply because once I make the art, that sets the direction I gotta like kind of head towards. As of now, I got 2 different options. I can either pick this kind of medieval dungeon kind of aesthetic, or MK Ultra kind of route where it's like you're in this other dimension, and that's kind of the story route I was planning on heading towards. I don't know, this is really a different topic for a different video, but that's what's going on with the art. Subscribe if you want to see that. Again, if you have any thoughts, comments, I'm down. Maybe we'll make its way into the game. You never know.